everyone. So, welcome back to Action Speaks Louder Than Words. One thing I want to talk about today is Bitcoin and just my observations and opinions about Bitcoin. So, I got into Bitcoin in 2017. Back then, it wasn't as popular as it is now, obviously. It wasn't very well known at all. But progressed to the popularity of it today. People made lots of money. People lost lots of money. Done pretty well in it. Don't have a perfect track record, but if I would have kept a lot of the Bitcoin I had in 2017, I'd be a multi-millionaire. But I did not, like many others. So, but I did learn lessons and I understand had a better understanding now of the do's and don'ts. So, anyways, what I wanted to talk about was what I think is going to happen in the financial system and what role Bitcoin will play in that. I do think Bitcoin is controlled by a certain amount of people at large whales at the top. They are creating money, getting together and selling at certain times, and then buying back, and they create very volatile price action. If you have a large number of Bitcoin being sold, it suppresses the price. And think about it, if you have 50% of the amount of Bitcoin out there controlled by a certain amount of people, and they decide all to sell at one time, the price is only going to go down. It's like a printing machine for those people, and then they just buy when they all determine to buy. Price is going to go back up. You imagine just being able to buy and sell just because of how much leverage you have, and you could just do that, and that's all you had to do is push a button one day. Next day, 3 days later, push a button again, and now you've made millions, billions, who knows, of dollars. That's all you have to do. Leave your house. I think we're getting to the point where what's going to happen is, obviously, the banking system's in shambles. It's a question of, we're at a point now where we really don't know what's going to happen with the banking system. I could see multiple scenarios. I could see where they save the banking system, try and continue using the system we have, where they just let it die, where they kill it on purpose so they can institute CBDCs, which I'm leaning more towards that than anything else. They're going to try and do that. They're going to try and usher everybody into the big banks. You notice a lot of people are taking the money out of the small local banks and putting it into the big banks because those are the banks that are getting bailouts, which is ridiculous. So they're going to kill the little bank, and now we're just going to have a bunch of little. It's just think about it. It's just like Walmart, right? Walmart comes into a community, and it kills all the small business. Okay, it's just the same. It's the same playbook. Now you have the banking system that is now killing all the small local banks because they're not going to get bailed out. Because guess who gets to choose who bails out the banking system? It's Joe Biden, Janet Yellen. Look at my other video where I show her actually saying that. She determines, and the president determines who saves which bank, who bails out which bank. Okay, they're not going to bail out the little banks. They're going to get you to usher everybody into the big banks. And they're either going to crash the big banks or they're going to use the big banks for the CBDCs. More than likely, they use them for the CBDCs, the digital dollar. Implement that system. What I think is going to happen is we're going to have this is worldwide. We're going to have major issues worldwide. And if you look, we're very lucky. Yes, we have inflation, but you have places that have 100% inflation. Israel, I can't even think, Venezuela, a lot of different places that have tremendous inflation. So their currency is dying. Okay, so if their currency is dying, what system is up and running right now and has been running for the last, 2009? Since 2009, So we're talking about 14 years now with flawlessly, not been hacked one time, not no problems, and is not controlled about it by anybody else. Because remember what the U.S. did with Russia. What they did was they went in and took Russia's money. So a lot of countries are going to look at that and say, what can we do? Our currency is collapsing. What can we do that we can implement quickly a system that's up and running now where the U.S. cannot take control of that system? I mean, to me, it's pretty straightforward. I think it's Bitcoin because I love gold and silver. I have silver. I think silver is great, but you still have to use the bank to buy silver. You got to use your card. Yes, right now you have to use the bank to buy Bitcoin, but the system with Bitcoin is there's wallets. There's no wallet for silver. There's wallets which you have control over. That's in your possession. You can download your Bitcoin onto a USB drive. I forget what they're called, but you can download your Bitcoin onto that, and you can put that in your pocket. And unless you lose it or somebody steals it from you, they cannot take that. And you put it back, and you can upload it onto your wallet. And now you have something to pay with, barter with, whatever you want to call it. That's an instant system that you now can install. Look how quick El Salvador installed that system. You can't do that with gold and silver. First off, you have to have enough gold and silver to do it. And there's not much gold in the world to begin with. And Russia and China are buying most of the gold. And you need the silver for production to build things. We want climate change, build all these electric cars. Good luck. Never going to happen. Not enough silver, not enough cobalt, not enough copper, not enough lithium. So I only see that, I'm not a big, I don't know that it'll work, but I think there's a good chance that when the panic sets in, that Bitcoin will be the first system we try. Whether it goes forward or whether we have another cryptocurrency that comes out and we use that. You hear all these people talking about XRP. I don't know. XRP I've always heard it's a banker's coin. I don't like it. They determine whether it's going to survive. It's a banker's coin. Why is SEC suing them? Blah, blah, blah. Who knows? I'm not about to get into that whole argument. But I see Bitcoin as the first system after many currencies fail. Many governments looking for something. They're going to need something. Unless we have a complete collapse where it doesn't matter what. If you have an EMP or a complete collapse where society is just degraded to nothing, the only thing that matters then is guns, ammo, food, and water. Bitcoin don't matter. Silver don't matter. People tell you, it's got to have silver. No, silver won't matter. You get to that point where there's just complete collapse of everything. Food, guns, water, that's it. Ammo. Something. You think people are going to be like, I'll take your Bitcoin. They can't eat. There's no internet. It doesn't matter, that kind of stuff. Gold don't even matter. Food and water, at the end of the day, really is the most important things. But that stuff matters. So like I said, I think that, I also think that a lot, like I said earlier, it's very, very manipulated, Bitcoin. But we're getting to the point where that manipulation is lessening every day because people are losing trust in the banks and in government. And that's what you're seeing with Bitcoin and gold and silver. You notice gold and silver also went up significantly percentage in price. A lot of people believe that is a reflection of people losing faith in their governments. And it seems to make sense to me. But I think Bitcoin will be the winner because it's liquid, it's instant. It's a system up and running right now. There's no system to trade gold and silver cross-border that's, agreed upon. there's one network for Bitcoin. It's the blockchain, and it's ready to go. And maybe they've just been, you know, preparing us for that, and that's the system they want us to use. I don't know, but that's where we're trending towards. Um, so better to be, you know, I'm not saying put your. I know not many people have a lot of money sitting on the sideline. You know, we're all trying to struggle through all this nonsense with inflation and, you know, trying to get food and feed our families and stuff. But, you know, if you got an extra, you know, $100, I'm not giving you investing advice, but I'm giving you survival advice maybe. Buy some, I don't know, buy some junk silver. You know, you can go buy on eBay and buy some junk silver. I just spent $100 on some junk silver and got, you know, some silver, sterling silver, you know, junk silver dimes and half dollars. Spent $100, got a little bit. Something's better than nothing, you know. So try and find your way through. But I think Bitcoin is going to be the first, whether it's the savior or whether it fails, who knows. But it's the easiest system to go because it's up and running, blockchain's up and running, hasn't failed. That's going to be the system that they're going to try, that the people are going to try first. Maybe even the governments. After everything, maybe everything fails and they just put their hands up and wave the white flag and say, you know, we got to do something. There's going to be governments that do that. There's going to be governments that completely collapse. There's going to be countries that completely collapse. There's going to be some countries that thrive through this. There's a good chance that third world countries are going to turn into first world countries through this. This is going to go down in history if we survive as one of the most interesting times, I think. And, you know, of course, history is written by the conquerors. Whether they decide to write it, you know, properly or, you know, how they want the outcome to look like, I don't know. But this is going to go down as one of the most interesting times in the history of the world, or at least this civilization. So, yeah, hopefully we all come out better on the other side. Definitely some rough times ahead, I think. You know, the banking system, it's just the beginning. That you think all that nonsense has just happened, it's just the beginning. You can't keep telling lies over lies over lies and keep patching things. It doesn't work. At some point it culminates into a major catastrophe. Or if they get pinned into a corner, the people that run this world, you think they're just gonna let the pitchforks and you know, people show up at their doorstep and not make something happen? No, they're going to use some kind of fearful tactic. They're going to release a real pandemic, a real one, not a you know, a real one. Or they're going to release, who knows? They're going to just start war, you know, nuclear war, which I don't think we're going to have nuclear war. I just don't. I mean, unless there's a complete breakdown and there's nothing left. Because once one person hits that button, a lot of people are going to hit that button, and then there's just nothing left. So, what's the point of, if you're gonna destroy everything? If you're the elite or you're the people running the show, what's the point if you just destroy everything? I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't see the point of that. But obviously, I don't know everything, so maybe they have some kind of plan. I don't know. Who knows? But like, subscribe, listen to the podcast. Link will be in the description. Really enjoying doing these videos, so I'm gonna do some more. There's not a shortage of topics, that's for sure. So thanks.